author and trained counsellor Thembi Monametsi lays bare her journey of healing in a book she titled Facing the Pain of Grief. The offering deals with Thembi's personal experience of grief after losing her husband to COVID-19. This deeply personal memoir also shares her struggles of suddenly losing someone, becoming a young widow, and her journey of healing. She says this book is a manual for someone who has difficulties overcoming the pain of losing their loved ones. Well, she joins us in studio to tell us more. Thembi, a very good morning to you. A warm welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you for having
talk
me.
to us about this book and what the book is about.
Okay, the book, it's all about my experience. As you said that I've lost my late husband over COVID-19. So the pain and the challenges that I went through my journey of grief pushed me, to write this book. And I remember that there was a time where I went to bookstore and I was looking for a book that will talk to me as a young widow. And I was looking for a South African author and I couldn't find any. So as an author, that's when I decided that, I'm going to write a book that will give wisdom and tools to widows, and not only widows, everyone who has lost their loved ones to death, on how to overcome this unbearable pain of grief and on how to overcome the challenges, because there are a lot of challenges that you go through, right? And most importantly, on how to rise above this pain and start to live again. Because to be honest with you, this journey of grief, at the beginning, it is so dark, you feel like you're in the dark pit. So you cannot walk through this journey alone. You need some people to help you. You also need to read some book. You need to go to therapist. So that is why I've written a book, so that I can reach out to the widows and to everyone who has lost loved ones through that, and they're struggling to face this unbearable pain.
They say grief changes you.
It does.
How does it change? What was the experience like for you?
Grief changes me, that's what I've learned. It changed your character, With me, like, I had anger, I remember that I was very angry with God, because I was married to a pastor. I'm a pastor's wife, I believe that God is going to heal him, So I was angry at God that God failed me. And sometimes you become angry at the situation, You become even angry at the people that you think they were supposed to support you, and at that time they were not there for you. So with me, grief made me to have anger. But then what helped me is that I didn't allow that anger to overpower me. I didn't allow that anger, to control me, because what I've learned is that anger changes you and can destroy your destiny, can destroy your relationship, and also can destroy your character as well. So it does change you. That is why you'll find that sometimes most people, when they grieve, they're looking for healing in the wrong places. Grief can also make you to look for healing in wrong places. For example, maybe addicted in drugs, alcohol, and also maybe be in unhealthy relationship. That is why, hence, I said that what helped me, I surrounded myself with people that went through what I was going through at that time. It's very important, because when your character changes, those people, they understand you, they don't judge you, they will support you, and then they will make sure that you are able to come out from that pit, because it is a very dark pit and it's a very painful experience.
What some of the lessons that came with working on this book, and what did it teach you about your own grief?
What it teaches me about my own grief is that we don't grieve the same. And also what it also teaches me is that allow yourself to grieve, right? And also that it's very important that you need to love yourself. I remember for the first 3 months, I couldn't eat, I didn't take care of myself, First 2 months, I was not even bathing, because I thought that it is over with my life, So what has grief taught me is that it's very important that you need to love yourself, because after this journey, there's a life that you need to live again. Yes.
You were telling me about how it took you 8 months to write this book. Tell me a little bit about that, about the little notes that you made, in order to combine this book.
You know, as an author, you know, I remember I went to therapist, and then she advised me that, you know, for you to get the healing, you also need to write the emotions that you're feeling that time. You know, so each and every time I will write every emotions that I was feeling, each and every stage that I was going through, I will write down. But then it was not an easy journey, because writing this book, this is my 4th book. So this book, it's one of the book where it was not easy, because I share my painful experience, right? So there were times where I felt like, you know, let me just give up. Why should I write this book, you know, because I shared so much about my painful experience. So, but then basically it just took me 8 months to write this book, because each and every stage that I was going through, I was writing down. Sometimes I would write crying, you know. Sometimes I will write when I feel like I don't feel like writing, but then because I had this purpose, because I had this love of helping other widows to be able to face this pain of grief. Yes.
Talk to us about the book cover. What is the concept behind the cover?
The concept behind the cover, it's just to show that, you know what, when you lose the loved one, the pain becomes so unbearable. You can see the way my face is looking down. For me, it just showed the pain that I went through when I lost my late husband. Yes.
And what's been the response to the book?
The response is very good, you know, because I've just realized that we don't really talk much about grief, especially we don't really talk much about the challenges that young widows are going through. What I've learned in this journey is that the society, they tend to dictate on how young widows should mourn, right? So the response in this book, it's very good, because now I'm able to reach out to young widows and tell them that it is okay to grieve the way you want to grieve. Don't allow anyone to judge you, you know. So I think that's why people, they really like this book. Yes.
Now, you mentioned that you want people to walk away with the reality that healing is possible.
Definitely.
Tell us a little bit about that.
You know, through my journey, I've learned that healing is possible. I'm a Christian, I'm a pastor. There was a time where people, they will tell me that you won't heal this pain of grief, right? And then through the research and through reading the word of the Lord, there is a verse that says that God heals the brokenhearted and he binds the wounds that are bleeding. Then I started declaring that word every day. I had faith in that word. I said, God, you said you can heal this broken heart. I'm in so much pain. I need someone to heal me. And God really healed me. It was not easy. It was a long process to gain my total healing. But then definitely I can say today that healing, it is possible.
All right, Thembi, where do people get a hold of this book?
They can get hold of this book at Take a Lot. It's available on Take a Lot. And also they can send orders through my WhatsApp number, which is 079-1393928.
All right, congratulations. Thank you so much for coming through and talking about your book. That is our author, Thembi Monametsi. She is a trained counsellor and author. She was unpacking her book titled Facing the Pain of Grief, the journey of healing and the unbearable pain. Thembi Monametsi is our guest author today.